Hello, everyone. Welcome to my Classroom Chronicles playlist. And in this video, I would like to talk about one niche that I bring to the ESL classroom that's applicable actually to all teachers. And that is my desire to enrich curriculum with guest speakers. The first thing I do, of course, is take a look at the curriculum and what I have planned for a course and think about who would be a good fit for that course. I already have a circle of family and friends and acquaintances who have spoken to my students, and they are feeling more and more comfortable speaking to my student population, and that's just awesome to see. I also go beyond my immediate connections and look for additional guest speakers. For example, I had a member of the debate club at Harvard University speak to my students, and in that case we were able to travel to Harvard and do that guest speaker event in a Harvard classroom, and then the student was kind enough to take us on a tour of Harvard afterwards. And this student talked about his experience with debate in high school, college, and his plans for the future and how that prepared him for the future. I've also had Toastmasters speak to my students, and that is awesome because you get a whole group of really diverse and interesting people from all walks of life in the classroom. And in that case, I did it virtually, and we had a great experience with that group. So the first step is finding your people in your circle, at educational institutions, in organizations, and beyond, near and far, in person or virtual. There are so many options to explore. If possible, it's important to do as much prep as possible to scaffold the guest speaker event and to increase engagement and enjoyment and the educational benefits of having a guest speaker. So I recommend encouraging a guest speaker to incorporate stories, just like TED Talks, because they're memorable and easier for students to follow. I also like to share the vocabulary we've done and or the topics that we've covered, and the guest speaker can build on those and make connections to increase comprehension and increase the benefits of the guest speaker event. It also helps to tell the guest speaker to slow down, pause, ask questions at intervals, to give students time to let the content sink in. It helps to prepare a PowerPoint, but if there's not a PowerPoint, you can also do a handout that students have, and they can fill out the handout while the guest speaker is speaking. I am actually very active during a guest speaker event. I want to pay attention to the guest speaker and be alert, pay attention to the students, and iron out any wrinkles that there might be and do anything I can to improve the experience for the speaker and for my students. So here are some tips that I have for doing that. Custom made handouts with the outline and questions are very helpful. I write on the board as the speaker is speaking any key terms or something I want to remember, and even take pictures to review later. I facilitate interaction. If the speaker didn't understand a student's question, I rephrase it, repeat it, encourage asking questions, and I sometimes have a guest speaker, if he or she is able, to recap what was said in the native language, and in this case, Japanese. And all of that is very, very helpful for increasing engagement and the educational value of the guest speaker activity. There is so much that can be done or should be done after a guest speaker, depending on the situation. But these are some of the things that I like to do. Seek feedback from the guest speaker and from the students so that I will know how to improve the guest speaker event in the future. Ask and answer questions, check comprehension. Also have students work in small groups on discussion questions or the handout. Use that for participation points, and take care of the guest speaker. For the guest speaker, prepare some kind of thank you message with student photos, student comments, if possible, pay them. So there's a lot that should be done and can be done to take care of the guest speakers and to maximize this event for the students.